This summer, when the Golden State Warriors traded Jordan Poole, a seemingly cornerstone piece of their franchise, for a 38-year-old Chris Paul, people were sort of scratching their heads. But with the way that Curry can now fit in with Chris Paul, or vice versa, this Warriors team is looking very, very scary for a couple different reasons. I'm here today to tell you why. The core of the Warriors has remained the same. Steph, Klay, Dre, Wiggins, that core that won the championship a couple of years ago. They also still have Kevon Looney, who is one of the most role-specific players in the league, but he is so good at what he does. And they have a couple of young guys, Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, making some leaps in year 3. So we're here to talk all about the Golden State Warriors today, so make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button as well as stick around until the end of the video. All 4 things will really help us out in the YouTube algorithm, and as you can see here, a large majority of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It'll really help us out in the YouTube algorithm. Now let's go ahead and get started looking at the CP3 effect, because with Chris Paul, who obviously is a great passer, they are allowed to bring Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, 2 of the greatest shooters of all time. Well, Steph is undoubtedly the GOAT shooter. Klay is one of the greatest catch and shooters of all time. They're both allowed to play off the ball. You have an elite screener in the 7-foot Kevon Looney, who will just absolutely brick walls from guys. And then you also have the perfect role guy for this system in Andrew Wiggins. So let's take a look here at how it all works together, how it looks with Chris Paul. So far through 3 games for the Warriors, he's averaging 10.5 assists a night, which are pretty good numbers. Didn't think that it would, be this quick for him to fit right in, but it has. Okay, look at this one here. You got Steph Curry setting a screen for Andrew Wiggins, with Chris Paul probably a good 10 feet behind the 3-point line. Keegan Murray is in no help off Klay Thompson, and for some reason Sabonis is locked up on Kevon Looney, no help there. But, it's allowing Steph and Klay to set screens. Wiggins ended up getting a dunk right there. And all the attention that Klay and Steph grab, it helps Chris Paul so much. You can see there, they're doubled up on Klay. CP gets to drive. No help off Steph. I mean, obviously, who wouldn't go no help off Steph? And then Wiggins wide open to the basket. Again, I'm not sure why Domantas Sabonis is going no help off Kevon Looney. He's not exactly one of the Splash Brothers or anything, but here it is again. Chris Paul drives off the pick and roll. Chris Duarte's not helping off of Steph. Harrison Barnes, he's in the proper spot, but Duarte would be the rotation down in that scenario to take away that 3 ball from Gary Payton Jr. because Keegan Murray has to help, but he's guarding the greatest shooter of all time, so you concede the open 3 to Gary Payton II, and he knocks it down. Here you've got Steph once again setting a stagger, and this would be Chris Duarte's help over the top because you're not going to put Domantas Sabonis in a one-on-one with Klay Thompson. Klay ends up curling that and gets a bucket, but with both of those guys off the ball, there's no help, and that pick and roll between Chris Paul and Andrew Wiggins is also wide open. So you have to pick your poison when you're defending these guys, and Chris Paul, being the quarterback of this offense, just sprays it around, and the Warriors get wide open looks all day long. Now, like I said, Andrew Wiggins is the perfect role player for this system. Last year, he averaged 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 2.3 assists per game, while shooting at 47% from the field and 40% from 3, as well as playing a little defense, a steal and a block per night. Very good numbers last year from Wiggins, and he does so much for them, almost in like the dunker spot, if you will. He's had a slow start to 2023, but I really expect him to pick that up. He was like an all-star starter a couple of years ago. He actually was the reason the NBA had to implement new voting rules. Kevon Looney to start this year is averaging 7.5 points, 11.5 rebounds per game, and 3.5 assists. Like we said, he is so perfect for this Warriors offense because he is such an elite screener. And then he gets the rebound. He's not looking to go back up with it. He's looking to kick it out to Klay or Steph to knock down an open 3 because that, when you've got no help off those guys, that's probably the best time to get an open look. Now, you also have baby Wiggins on this team, and it is Jonathan Kuminga. Against the Sacramento Kings, he was getting closing minutes for the Golden State Warriors with Wiggins on the bench. So far in this young season, he's averaging 12 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 1 steal. And if he continues to average 12 to 13 a game with about 6 boards and a steal, he is going to be such a great addition or such a great piece for this team. He's only shooting at 34% from three, but 48% from the field is good. 23 minutes a game. So if he continues to have that year, if he can just do that for the rest of the season, perfect situation for the Golden State Warriors because they now get to bring a second version of Andrew Wiggins off the bench. Okay, he's 21 years old still, 6'9", 210, with the perfect tools to be the perfect player for this Warriors system. Now Steph is going to Steph. He is off to, yet again, another screeching hot start. Is screeching hot? Is that correct? I don't know. I kind of just made that up. But he's averaging 34, 4.5, and 2.5. He hit like 5 threes in a row last night against the Rockets and then pulled one from like 80 feet beyond the three-point line. Missed it, but it would have been crazy if it went in. Made Dylan Brooks look like an absolute buffoon. 57% from the field, 48% from three to start the year off from Steph. And this dude is 35 years old. He's only getting better. So far, this is his best statistical start to a season of his career at age 35. He's aging like fine wine. Now, the question is, who else is going to step up for this Golden State Warriors team? Moses Moody is a guy, brought to mind. Could he be one to step up? He made a few shots against the Kings the other night, averaging about 10 a game. Trace Jackson-Davis got some burn. Maybe we see him getting some more PT with Draymond, in and out of the lineup. But now that Draymond is back, I doubt we see him. Lester Keone or Keonis? I'm not sure. It's still not great at Spanish. But anyways, he could be a guy we see take a leap, kind of like Jordan Poole a couple years ago. And then Dario Saric, a guy that has been playing well. Could he, see an increased role? Or Brandon Podziemski, the rookie, out. Where did he come from? Santa Clara. Yeah, that's right. Now looking ahead at the Warriors schedule, currently 2-1 after the win versus Houston last night, where Curry only had 24 points. Not great. But look at the rebound numbers from Looney. Look at the assist numbers from CP3. Looking ahead, they got New Orleans tonight. That'll be about an hour after this video drops. And then they play Sacramento again at home. Then they go to Oklahoma City, to Cleveland. So a bit of a rough stretch coming up. These are pretty solid teams. It feels like the NBA as a whole is just very competitive this year. Then you go to Detroit, and then you go to Denver. But for the Warriors, I see at least 4 wins in their next 6 games. That Denver one probably going to be an L, and then I think they pick one other loss up somewhere along the way. But for my thoughts, I think this Chris Paul experiment is going to work. I love the way he can be the quarterback for this Warriors offense with Klay and Steph setting screens for each other and for other guys like Wiggins to get easy layups, easy dunks. And also, the defense going no help off Steph, going no help off Klay. That kind of messes them up when it comes to their rotations. Guys like Gary Payton Jr. or the second, or other guys on this squad like Moses Moody, we could see coming and make a living off the bench, knocking down threes. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to the like button and hit the subscribe button down below, as it really helps out in the YouTube algorithm. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.